Once you have more than one entity in StructureGram for a particular group, you can start to create relationships between them. So I've got these two individuals, but I've also now got a company and a trust for this group. So if I want to create a relationship, there's a couple of different ways. The first way is by doing it in the entity pages. So if I click on Jane, for example, I can see that there's this relationships section. And if I'd like, I can add a relationship from here. So then I can select a relationship type, so shareholder of, and then the target entity. So there's that company that I created. Then I've got a number of different fields depending on the relationship that I'm creating. This is a shareholder relationship, so I can put in the number of shares. I can also select a share class or add a new share class and a few other options as well. But I'll just hit save. So now I've created that relationship for Jane. She's now a shareholder in the Jetson Pty Ltd. And we can see the share class and also the number of shares. So you've got quite a bit of information about the relationship there. Now the second way to create relationships is visually on the diagram. So if I go to the diagram and I'll create a new one, we can now see that for entities that have relationships, visible relationships, they'll appear on the diagram. So we can see that shareholding relationship between Jane and the company. Now these entities over here are in the existing panel. I can drag them on, but they don't automatically show because there's no relationships to show between them. So for example, if I want to now make George a shareholder of this company, I can drag him on, and then to create the relationship, I just select George and draw an arrow from George to the company. And this panel will appear on the right where now I can select the relationship type. So once again, I'll select shareholder, and once again, same with entities, you have the same fields as you do when you're creating it from the data first. So I can put in the number of shares and then just hit create. And now we can see that relationship is visible there. Now, depending on the entities that are involved, the relationship types that you can select will vary. So for example, if I bring on this trust and I draw a relationship from a company to a trust, we can see that these are the available relationship types. Whereas if I draw a relationship from George to the trust, we can see, or the trust to George, for example, we can see that these are the available relationship types. So StructureGram has these built-in validation rules that make sure that you don't draw relationships that are invalid. So I'll just draw this relationship here, trustee of, and hit create. So now we can see that we've got a number of relationships between those entities. And if I go back to, say, this company entity page, we can see all three of those relationships there.